show. So Pro Corner is a show that I started a long time ago in StarCraft 2, and it's a show all about coaching and really, having you guys become a better player just by watching the episodes. And what I do is I bring on pros, have them come and walk us through their decks. And in the case of Hearthstone, they're going to walk us through the decks, and then instead of just talking about the decks, we're actually going to go and play live games with the decks and have the coach at the time really talk about things like mulligans, things like certain card combos are super important in this matchup. Just general philosophy with the decks and that sort of bit. Really, again, really more in-depth type of coaching and that sort of thing. Hopefully, you guys will pick it up. At the end, we'll do some Q&A as we always do. Don't have a Reddit thread today for it, so we'll have to take questions from the stream chat. Hopefully, it won't be too crazy. If it's too crazy, then I'll have to just do sub only, guys, because I won't be able to read anything. So hopefully, we'll be able to do that. Have your questions ready for Amaz and myself. But you want to just jump into it, man? Sound good?
Yeah, sound good to go. I think we should look at the deck list first, right?
Yeah, let's take a look at it. I'm loading up the overlay here, and then we can see the deck. It's on both sides here, so you can let's talk about the deck some. So it's obviously a priest. This is a mod after all. I mean, of course, we're gonna do a priest deck with this guy. But we've seen various priest decks. You've been on Valley Town, talk a little about priest too, a few episodes. But talk about this current version of it.
All right, so basically, the priest is like the king of control, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the early priest decks utilize a lot of big hitting creatures. So the first deck I think I ever crafted had like about six plus drops of Cairn, Sylvanas, Ysera, Rag, Mind Control. It's like very, very high because people don't usually play like pure aggro or whatnot. But of course, this priest deck is now the more what's that called? The more typical priest you see in the ladder, if you ever see any, is that you run a lot of mid-game creatures and you rely on about 3 to 4 winning conditions. So if you can see in this deck, the winning conditions are obviously Rag, Sylvanas, and the 2 Thought Steals. Thought Steals are actually, they're actually winning conditions because we're assuming that you're going up against a mid-range deck, right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna, basically trade everything. Those 4 cards are the cards that will push you over the edge because they usually trade 3 for 1, and that's really good. Against an aggro, obviously you just need to survive. So that's why stuff like Alkanai, Indrid Blade Master, even the Farseer, those are there. Pyromancer can obviously clear a board with like funky combos and whatnot.
Right.
And those are for the aggros. But for the very, very late control, I think we might bump into some handlocks or warriors and those stuff. Those matchups you really need to rely on those 4 cards we just said, and bring you forth. So the Mind Blast is sorry about that.
No, go ahead. Mind Blast. Yeah, go for it.
The Mind Blast is a good addition because without Mind Blast, we cannot beat Miracle Rogues and we cannot beat Hanlocks. We just need that burst at the end. It's kind of like a Shadow Step. That's how I see it. Hero Shadow Step. Yeah. Okay. It's basically one of them is there. So
if you actually draw bad with Thought Steal, how weak is is the deck really, really dependent on Thought Steal, or does it actually have still a baseline success rate without it?
Yeah, the Thought Steal is actually very reliable, I have to say. I don't know. I've used it a long time, and the only cards you don't want to see are, Blade Flurry and Deadly Poison, right?
Right.
So it's actually only bad against rogues. Even against warriors, if you get something like a Shield Slam and you do not have any armor, it's totally fine because I'm not sure if you guys, there's a video where I Thought Stone 2 Shield Slams, and I use that to proc off my Pyromancer, and I game with it. So it's Shield Slams actually fine. So that's like the worst case situation, right? The best case situation, you get legendary. You get like a mid-range creature. For example, a lot of times in Druids, you Thought Steal a Yeti, so you have a turn 4 play.
Yeah.
It's overall very, very solid card. I cannot imagine the deck that's not running Thought Steal and not even running 1. I can't picture a deck that will work that way. So.
Okay. Another question: Injured Blade Masters. So Injured Blade Master's also always been that fun card that you combo with Circle of Healing to get that incredible turn 3 and just to have this 4/7 that's impossible to get off the board for the most part, given that the priest can heal it on stop with their hero power. How strong is that play?
So the Injured Blade Master is actually very tricky to use. It's not as easy to use as some people think. Because if you play a turn 3 and do nothing with it, this is basically what I call a naked Blade Master, right? You're
Yeah.
just throwing it out there. A Harvest Golem would have been better because it stays on the board, and Injured Blade Master would just die to everything. It's a 4/3. It's basically like the Mage card, where a secret's free and it just dies.
Yeah, yeah, Kieran.
So that's not really good, right? Usually you want to put an Injured Blade Master plus a Power Shield at turn 4, or a heal as a turn 5, or of course use the Circle combo. And the Blade Master Circle combo is just super, super good. If you do that against a Druid, you basically win 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Because
That's
they can't
insane.
they just can't deal with it, right?
Yeah,
Against
absolutely.
other matchups, you usually do it as well because the reward is just too high.
Yeah.
But then if it gets hexed or sapped, then you're pretty sad.
Sinjin. So why Sinjin in there instead of like a Yeti? Obviously the taunt I think is the reason behind it, but why have the taunt in there?
Yeah, I I did experiment with a Yeti a lot because the main advantage of a Yeti in this current metagame is that it does trade well with a Drake because every deck that's not an aggro runs
True.
a Drake, right?
That's
An
true.
Azure Drake. Yeah, so that's good. But the Senjin is, yeah, it's really there to limit your opponent's options, right? Senjin could basically, well, more realistically, practically, it just stops the Miracle Roll from killing you. It stops the Druid combo from killing you. But a bit more subtly, it protects your Pyromancer because usually it's a 1 health. You do
Okay.
not want it to get killed, and yeah, that's really about it for the Senjin. It's just that Yeti, you can't really do anything. If there's a Yeti in this deck, then you need an Argus.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's give and take.
So let's see. Last question, Ragnaros, and we've seen the Amaz Ragnaros magic many times. With you must have a deal with RNG this year, but why Ragnaros over or why Ragnaros as the finisher versus some other options? I mean, I think Mind Control might have been in the deck a long time ago, or even
Right,
just
sure, yeah, the
some
people have
other
been jumping it. Rag is like the one card I really think like it's staple in the priest deck because this win condition is equal to Gramash, or that's the one thing I compare to Gramash, right?
Okay.
You can compare to Alakir and stuff like that, and Velen doesn't achieve the same job because if you put down Velen and you put a Mind Blast, sure you get 10 damage pyro, but why that just works with Holy Fire and Mind Blast anyways,
Yeah.
and most priest decks run that anyways, so I don't give a lot of credit to Velen. So basically, Ragnaros is the priest class card legendary that is just super good.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, 8 damage to the face usually is really good, but you're doing 8 damage to the face and summon an 8/8, so you're actually like forcing removal on it.
Yeah.
It's overall really, really solid.
Okay, and I remember the deck being a little bit more reactive than it is right now. Reactive meaning with like Sylvanas, and I think at the time it had Faceless. So I guess why isn't Faceless in the deck anymore?
Yeah. So, like I said before, the earlier priest decks were like curving super high.
Yeah.
They're running like Cairns and facelesses and everything. So, like, it's just guaranteeing all the cards to trade like 2 for 1 or even 3 for 1. But then the thing is, you can't survive the early to mid game. Right now, Druids, if they have 3 minutes on the board at turn 5, if you have nothing, you die. Same thing with zoos and stuff like that. So that's why we added smite back in, because in the earlier ones we don't have smites.
Yeah.
It was just bad. Like, why would you spend a card to remove another card? And usually
People
you
love Dennis, man.
yeah, and then you could do that. And also, like, why would you spend a smite to remove a loot hoarder, right? But
Yeah,
the
right.
reasoning for smiting a loot hoarder is that if your opponent plays a loot hoarder, they play the loot hoarder. Okay, there's no way around it. You have to deal with it, and the
Yeah.
holy smite does that. So yep.
Yeah, it's really nice too, and I mean it's another way to proc your wild pyro too, which helps you a
Right,
lot
exactly.
against zoo and that sort of bit. Yeah, definitely priest decks with Holy Smite are just a lot easier to deal with those.
Yep.
Those
And actually,
aggro
one
decks.
more thing I think we should go with before like we hop into games or whatnot is the idea of tech cards, and I call them tech cards. I'm sure people like you have different names, but I call it tech cards.
Okay.
And what tech cards are cards that you could replace for something else, depending on the meta. So right now, if I'm looking at this list right now, you could remove a pain for something else. You
Oh,
could
really?
remove
Okay.
Sylvanas yeah. So pain could be removed. Senjin, Sylvanas, and yeah. So those 3 cards really stand out as you could like remove them for something else. The other cards are what we call like staples, right?
Yeah.
So if
So
you
these
do
are the
like
flexible
selecting,
cards.
yeah,
I
the
guess what you
flexible
say.
cards, right?
Okay.
So for example, if you're going against like if you're going against Druid, then obviously you want Black Knight. But then, for example, if you're laddering, you really don't want Black Knight because that's only good against a few matchups, so Druids and then Shamans to a certain extent. But
Yeah.
then it doesn't do anything against mages, doesn't do it against Miracle Rogues, doesn't do it against Warriors. So that's why Black Knight's not there. But that's
Yeah.
important to keep in mind in the tournament. So for example, like if you really want a priest deck to deal with, for example, to beat a Druid deck because you know Druids can be played 100%, then you would play a Black Knight there. So
Okay.
yeah, those three cards are like changeable. I think in my list right now, I don't have a Pain anymore, and I'm running another Farseer, just because there are so many Miracle Rogues, and
Yeah. So you
yeah,
have one pain. I mean, oh, you don't have a pain. Okay, right here.
I removed the
Yeah.
Pain for
Okay, I
the-
could see that. I could
So
totally see
basically, yeah,
that.
you just need to juggle depending on the meta and be flexible with your picks. So right now, this deck is totally fine. Like it's all around. But
Yeah.
if you find that you're losing to like Miracle Rogue 7 times in a row, then you need to fix up something. Right now, yeah, in my current deck, I also switched an Adjudic for a Harrison
Yeah,
because it's
that's what
kind
they
of the same
mentioned
thing.
too.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It draws your cards. But then it has a weapon requirement. So anytime you go against a weapon, then that's a good thing. And every time it goes against Druid, then you wish it was an Adjudic. So you have to kind of balance it out.
Okay, so we're talking Sylvanas, one Drake, Shield Master, Sinjin, and Pain are basically the four flexible cards.
Well, no. Drake is not like I wouldn't consider it a deck card, but then
Okay.
it can basically be replaced with a it can basically replaced by a Harrison, right? Because
Yeah.
they accomplish the same
They
thing.
do similar things, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see what you
exactly.
mean.
Like Azure could be an auctioneer because that's really much the same thing. It's just the one that gives you most
Yeah.
value right now, and the one that works in the metagame. So like you could replace any card. Or Thought Steal could be an Acolyte of Pain because that accomplishes the same thing, right? Like a deck needs
Not
to
quite,
draw.
actually.
Not
because
quite,
the
but
thought
like,
steals it.
like think of it as accomplishing the same thing because it draws you cards, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
it does.
So that's a very important idea to keep in mind of when you're like crafting decks and you're countering,
Right.
and not just like obviously net decking is good because that's a good start. But when you're actually bringing decks into your tournaments or actually laddering, you need to keep those ideas in mind.
Yeah. Okay, well, why don't we jump into some games now, and we'll continue the coaching inside of games. And thankfully, I'm only rank 9 right now, so that's perfect timing for, for
okay.
this. So this we should see all kinds of decks, and this will be good because a lot of people that watch the shows and that play Hearthstone right now aren't in Legend, so this will be good because what
Actually, yeah, there's a thing with different ranks is that the game is very different from 15 to 10, and then 10 to 5, and then 5 to Legend. Like,
yeah, exactly.
there's really, really different. You can't play the same way. You just have to adapt to the situation. So right now, I'm in like I think I'm in like rank 2, just that. So you expect stuff like Miracle Rogue, that's a Miracle Rogue, or like that's a Druid, typical Druid. But in rank 10s to 5s, you have to expect everything.
All right, so we're gonna go up against a rogue, and all right, mulligan. So what's the most important mulligans? Cleric is, I think, generally the thing that I think most people see as.
All right,
being
so
an important
against the Rogue, you have to assume it's Miracle because that is the most popular. That's the deck to beat, right?
Yeah.
So against Miracle, basically you treat your priest deck as a zoo deck. Okay, so anything that's not a minion, you have to mulligan, and anything you just need to play stuff every second. So that is correct, exactly.
Alright, so
and
we'll go
Foster
with-
has no value against in Rogue, so you never want to even see that card.
Okay, so treat a priest deck like a zoo deck. Wow, man.
Exactly.
I've
Yep.
never heard that. So this
That's
is gonna
basically
be
the
good.
goal of Miracle because you already like it's
Oh,
already a
there we
bad
go.
matchup,
Yeah.
right? So you just need to hope for the best and hope you draw like a straight, right? A straight is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, small straight,
That's
exactly.
basically
Yahtzee,
what
baby,
you want to
Yahtzee. Okay, so this isn't too bad, right? So we got a 1, 2, straight at 5, and then we got. Oh, there we go. We got a 3 here.
Yep, there you go. So that's good. So we'll start with the 1
Yep.
because that's what we do.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
What's the ideal play here? Ideal situation for turn 2.
Well, ideal situation is that the rogue uses resources, right? If he backstabs your cleric, it's actually not that bad because, like, the goal leading up to turn 5 against the rogue is just that your opponent needs to use a lot of resources
Right.
to clear stuff. So yeah, I would put the Pyromancer here.
Yep.
Because if it gets backstab, it's totally fine. Like, people always think that, oh my god, I just
Lost value.
walked into
yeah.
a 0, like a 0 for 2. That's
Right.
just stupid, right? But it's
Right.
okay. It's always going to be in the hand. Don't let the auctioneer be super big. So just drop
Right.
your stuff.
Yeah, so you want stuff to get burned. You want eviscerates burned. You want backstabs burned.
Right, right, right. Those are the dangerous cards.
Just hate it when minions actually come on the board.
The best situation would be they somehow use their prep before they can auctioneer.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. So is hero power even really a good option against a rogue, like early on?
No,
here?
you do not want to use your hero power until
right.
like you want to play around something. Wow. Okay. Now this is the fun
plays,
part.
baby.
This is the fun part. So you could basically what I say when I look at this, you can basically draw a million cards. So it depends on how many millions you want. So right now, the obvious play is to put the cleric down. Well, don't do this, okay? But put the cleric down, coin, and then circle, and then you draw 6 cards, right? So you'll be down to 9 cards. But then you have to use your hero power as well, right? Because you don't want to waste it, and you want to heal the Pyromancer so that it doesn't stab it. That'll draw you 11 cards.
Oh my
that's
god,
not bad.
that's amazing.
That's not bad, but you do lose 2 cards. And usually, rogues, like, you're not going to fatigue before them. There's just no way. So that's a good option. The other option is to coin and then put the cleric and then circle feeling. So that's a bit better, right? So right now, what I would do is I would coin first and then drop the Northshire.
Okay, so coin first.
Yep, coin first and then drop the Northshire.
Northshire. Okay, so we get the...
Okay, and then I will circle now. I do it a little bit faster. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Circle, and then this only draws you 4 cards, so that's not too crazy. And I'm probably gonna Farseer the Pyromancer, so you should just do it now. And then of course you should attack.
Right away.
Okay, we just gotta do a little.
Oh,
bit
just yeah, exactly. All right, there we go. Got it in. Got it in.
All right, so that's good. So right now here, we're not mulligan any cards, right? Because it's very, very dangerous if you mulligan your Senjin or you mulligan any Holy Fires or Circles and stuff like that. You know?
Right.
It's,
okay.
like it's all right, and you go like, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna draw any of cards like
Right.
that. But it's good practice to like not lose any cards.
Yeah, absolutely. Not overdraw here, and that obviously comes with experience, and of course that I might have personally just overdrawn there, just trying to get the max out of the cleric. So good stuff here.
Yep. Well, the thing is, like, even when you overdraw, it's fine, because if you think of overdrawing your cards, you place them at the bottom of your deck, right? You're not gonna go fatigue, so just pretend those cards at the bottom of the deck. But the problem is your opponent can play around it when they see your Holy Fire gets ripped or something like that.
Yeah, it's just added information, true. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so he's gonna remove one of them. That's fine. That's actually, we don't want to draw too many more cards here.
Yep, that's a pretty simple toast there. Alright.
Okay, so how are we feeling? We're feeling pretty good?
No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay.
Alright,
So we got some choices here.
So yeah, the main objective of this deck, right, really, is just to play as many minions as you can for it to be most healthy.
Yeah.
And then to remove your opponent's stuff too. So right now you could, for example, smite the SI, and then drop a Blade Master, but then your total health of your minions will be like 6. So that's not really good.
It's within Blade Flurry kind of range type of thing.
Yeah, but then like a general concept is just that add all your health of your minions, and the higher it is, the better, right? That's the very general concept.
Okay.
So the highest we can get is the Pyromancer trace for the 3/3, and then put either the Senjin or the Alchemy, right? So then the total is 8. When you decide between either, so just trade, and then we'll drop a 4. But then when we decide what 4 drop to choose, we always choose the one that has an effect, because the taunt can really mess up your opponent. So this is the Alchemy. I will drop the Alchemy here, and then I'll just attack. Because the Alchemy is more flexible in that you could do something with your hero power if you want.
Yeah. We've actually got Mind Blast and 2 Holy Smites in our hand right now too, so...
Oh wait, that's actually a perfect. Like what it did is just perfect. It just walked right into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, looking at that, like, we just smite and hero power, but then we want to figure out the whole turn first, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We also want to like increase the minion health. So, power shielding the Farseer should be pretty good. So, like, you do not want to power shield the Alchemy because, you know, if it gets sapped, it loses the health.
Yeah, it's already a huge target, so definitely not a good idea. Right. So go ahead and do it.
I would start with that. Yep.
Alright, go start with that. Okay, Holy Fire. So even more damage whenever we need it.
So yeah, you just smite, remove it, and then just go in for 6.
Alright. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, at least from my standpoint. Again, we still have Mind Blast for 5, Holy Smite for 2, and then now we got Holy Fire for another 5. So 12 damage sitting in our hand in two turns.
Yeah, it's definitely a big advantage right now because our opponent burned preparation.
Yeah.
Those are the cards that you need to keep track. The cards that actually matter. Choppy choppies, which are eviscerates, of course.
Choppy
That's what I
choppies.
call it. Yeah, you do
Nice.
need to keep track of choppy choppies. Shivs you don't really need to keep track of. Backstab you don't really keep track of because you can never play around those cards, right?
Right.
So right now we are one choppy choppy down and we are two preps down. So you can just count his mana and yeah, basically you can play it around it. So
Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to conceal, is there outside of Circle of Healing with the Aconite, is there any kind of clever ways of clearing it?
you could do some funky stuff with Pyromancer, but usually conceal is just whatever, just leave it be.
Okay, so don't even worry about it.
Okay, so yeah, once again, well, the thing is, he cannot kill us with 7 mana next turn with 28 health.
Right.
Like, there's no way. But then still, we want to make it as awkward as him possible. And if you can set up for lethal next turn, that would be like extra bonus, right?
Yeah.
So the way, well,
Should
obviously we whack him for 6, right? There's no change about that.
Yeah, whack him for 6, take him down to 9.
So take it down to 9, and then we do not have lethal right now. Do we have lethal? Oh Jesus, we have lethal. We're bad.
Oh, we have...
We're
we have-
bad.
yeah.
I would say we're bad. So yeah, just kill him. Just hero power, mind blast, and smite, and everything go first phase.
Of course.
Yeah, welcome to Hearthstone 101.
Exactly.
Always check for lethal.
Exactly.
Like,
Always check for lethal first, man. I do that all the time too. But we had so much damage there. Okay, so that was pretty ideal against the rogue. I mean, the rogue only did 2 damage to us, so that's definitely at least Exhibit A, which is really really good. And I think we learned a few
it's
things
good
there.
that we started with a win, huh? It's like,
Yeah, that's
we're
right.
losing, everyone's going, oh, this is trash. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you know, this episode, this pro quarter stuff sucks, man. I'm getting just bad advice on this show.
But yeah, here's the thing. Like, against Miracle Rose,
Yeah.
Priest is already at a very big disadvantage. So you have to do what you can.
Yeah.
And just try and draw her straight, right?
Okay, so I guess the theme of that game was try to get the minions to go early with your curve, and then kind of keep track of all the damage spells like the backstabs and the eviscerates and stuff like that, and just have that at the forefront of your mind, and then try to save up the damage, really.
Okay, so the next game is a Paladin. And Paladin is a pretty interesting matchup, right?
Okay,
It's
yeah.
interesting than Rogue for me, at least. So really, you have an aggro or a control.
Right.
Now, I'm not really sure what this is, but like you're trying to play for both, right? Because if it's control, you really want the Drake, and if it's aggro, you really do not want the Drake. So we're gonna
Yeah.
assume that it is an aggro because that is like the card to deck to beat, right?
Yeah.
So for this one, I would just mulligan the Azure Drake and Ascension.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
just-
generally speaking too, whenever you have an opponent that has a class that can go either aggro or control, I think preparing for the aggro is usually the better option, given that you can draw into stuff that helps you with the control.
Sure, yeah. Like you do want to draw into the Drake later if he is controlled.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Gives
we
you a
can
chance.
tell really fast because usually Paladins do want to drop the 1-drop.
Yeah, so it doesn't play anything there. Either he had really bad luck and he's an aggro deck, or he's a control here. Okay, so our turn 1. So
okay,
coin, what
okay.
are we looking at with coin here? Just in general, just not this
coin,
turn, but
coin is really good because it does. Oh, we can end our turn first. We can just
yeah,
keep
go
talking.
ahead. Yeah, sure.
Here's what I'm gonna do here. Coin is really good because it procs a pyro. You can get a turn 2 Blade Master, and yeah, that's basically it actually, and that's
Okay.
good enough. That's really really good.
Yeah, so are we looking at Injured Blade Master Circle of Healing too? Like a 3-card play?
Yeah. We will
Okay.
we will use the Injured Blade Master here. Like even if it gets equality, it's fine.
Okay.
We do need to put that out there.
Going with this bad boy. Super strong play. Man, turn 2/4/7. Gotta
Like
love that, man.
people say okay if the equalities then it's like terrible, right? But it's fine. Like first they did use an equality to clear it, so then you can count the cards. And also the second thing is if he doesn't have it, then you're like way ahead.
Right.
That's always the thing.
You can get some crazy efficiency with that. Okay, turn 3. What are we looking at? Minion or?
Well, it's turned to 1/7, which is which kind of sucks, but it's not it's we expect that. So we will try and kill that, and then I guess we'll Farseer that as well.
All right, so kill the 1/1 and Farseer, right? Yep.
Farseer, yep.
And then we heal ourselves, right?
Oh no, we'll heal the
We're gonna heal
1/6.
this? Okay.
There's no reason to heal ourselves, right?
Okay, so we're gonna heal the 1/7.
Right.
Right.
The paladin matchup against a control, right? This is control.
Yeah.
The main challenge we have is cards, right?
Okay.
Paladins really trade very efficiently because, like, exactly, true silver champion, it trades 2 for 1. And there are not a lot of cards in our deck that trades 2 for 1 against the paladin because they have a lot of 1/1. They can just heal power every turn, and you need to basically deal with those.
Right.
So card draw is really important. Okay, well, pain is like a perfect draw.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. All right, so we
Yeah,
can
like what are you gonna do with a 3/3?
remove that and heal, I guess.
I guess there's another option you can do is that you could attack it with the Blade Master and smite it and then heal the Blade Master if you think he plays Kodo. Because usually paladins do play Kodo, right? And
Yeah.
painting a Kodo is much better than painting a 3/3.
Oh, that's
so I
true.
guess in a sense that the best play right now is to attack and then heal the Blade Master and then smite the
Okay.
3/3 to finish
Okay,
it.
let's go with it. No, I think you're right. I think almost a large percentage of control paladins are playing Makoto these days. Okay, cool.
Trading efficiently against the paladin is very, very important. You have X cards for X creatures, right? Two
Yeah.
decks go on both of the Guardian of Kings. Sylvanas kills the Tyrion, and yeah, you have enough minions to like
Yeah.
hopefully not die to equality consecrate, right?
Yeah, and it's good to keep track of those type of things, like which cards match up with which cards in these type of decks, because again, you want to go for these great value plays later on. All right, so this is a little bit awkward of a turn here.
Yeah, you do not. The thing is, you really need more cards, right? So
Yeah.
you have to use the power shield, but you do not want to use the power shield on the Blade Master because it's like, why are you buffing like a one attack
Exactly.
creature? So you're
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
forced into playing the Alkanai with the
Right.
with the shield, which is not bad, I guess. This is not the worst.
Okay, so we're gonna go for a 3/7 Akanai here. All right, Sinjin.
And of course, we just go in for a face for 1.
Yeah.
This play only loses to Consecrate because if it's Consecrate, then our board is cleared,
That's true.
and that would be very, very bad.
That would be crazy bad. Holy Fire is going to be potentially a play on the Azure Drake if he, for some reason, doesn't hit anything. But you got to imagine he'll at least hit the Akanai. Okay, Hammer. All right, that's pretty good for him. Cycles that card, but you still have the Blade Master on the field though.
Right?
So is a Holy Fire looking like the play here, or?
Holy Fire is looking at the play, unless we draw something like super good. But no, that's not super good. So yeah, we'll hold on to that. Holy Fire seems to be the play here.
Right.
And then, yep, Blade Master is gonna remove like 6 more minions.
Yep,
Right?
lots of dudes, man. 5 more dudes for this Blade Master. He's just hacking away at people, man.
What we're trying to draw right now into
There it
our
is.
thought steals. Oh, there you go.
There it
so,
is.
yeah, Kane is really good here.
All right, so we win
did
a thought steal
pretty
though.
tricky play there. Yeah.
Okay. Injured Blade Master's not bad, right?
Injured Blade Master's not bad because the thing is,
Heal him up.
Ascension is gonna be Ascension anyway. So yeah, I would put the Injured Blade Master, heal it, and then just Pain.
All right.
We also need to keep track of our important cards. Like, we don't have to keep track of like how many clerics we use or how many stuff like that. But the important cards to keep track of are Blade Masters, Alkanais, and Circles because they're like a family of cards.
Right.
So right now we still have 1 more Circle and both Alkanais. So if we draw the Circle, we do an exterior for the Alkanai.
Yeah, we only have one Akanai left though, because we used one of them, right?
Oh yeah, we used one.
Yeah. Oh, Sylvanas.
Good. So Sylvanas is supposed to kill
Take.
trade for Tyrion in a Paladin matchup anyways. So I
Okay.
think that's perfectly fine.
All right, so we play it, and that 1/1 could be a problem though, right?
The 1/1 could be a problem because we
Yeah.
could steal 1/1. But then this is like the risk versus reward is good enough.
Right. So we heal the Blade Master, right?
And yeah, we do heal the Blade
All right,
Master.
heal it all the way up to 4/7, so at least Tyrion can't kill him by himself.
Like
And
what
hopefully
he's
the
probably
dude-
gonna do is that he's gonna put a lot of small stuff and then just use the Tyrion to whack the Sylvanas. But that's the thing. Like you do need the answer for that Tyrion, and Ragnaros doesn't seem like a good option there.
Yeah.
So really, the turn just plays itself.
We'd like to see him remove the Blade Master with the Tyrion and the dude, and then play something decent sized behind it too, but I don't think we'll be that lucky.
So yeah, I mean the challenge is once again just to overcome the card advantage of
Yeah.
the Paladin. So if you can't solve that with your deck, then
Yeah.
you lose, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because Priest is really bad against Paladin.
Wow. Okay, so he's going. All right, so he's taking the option, the approach of just swinging over it, forcing us to have to deal with it. All right, what do we want here?
Holy Nova would
Holy
be
Nova would be pretty nice.
as well. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah,
That is a lot of
that is
stuff.
a lot of stuff. Thought Steal would be pretty good too.
Oh, Holy Nova.
Um,
Not quite as
yeah.
good.
So it depends on how risky you want to go, I guess. Yeah, we could go pretty crazy. We could just Holy Nova and then use the Sylvanas to hit the Tyrion, and then hope to, the Sylvanas steals the Tyrion. Like you have to figure out if that's the best play, because the other play would be like to
I mean, rag. I mean, what? There's not. I
the
guess we
other
could play
play is
Sinjin.
pretty silly. So I guess I would I guess I would go for it. Why not?
Should just throw it in first, right? Or do we Holy Nova first? Yep.
Well,
Nova first,
yeah.
right.
Do you want insurance? Insurance is basically Well,
Well,
actually,
make it a
we can't-
1 and 3 versus like a 1 and 5 right here, right?
Yeah, we can't take an insurance here because we can't take out the bubble and kill the Blade Master. We have to go with this one. So if it doesn't work, then the Tyrion stays alive. So yeah, we can't take insurance. We have to just do it. So yeah,
So just do Nova. Nova. And
yeah just
cover
the
it.
Nova. Hopefully the Sylvanas steals the Tyrion.
All right, let's hope for the best, baby. Here we go. Oh, come on, baby.
And then we're obviously gonna lay down the Sinjin here because we need some more potential. Let's do that.
Do we swing in? We swing into the Tyrion?
Oh no, we don't
no,
really.
we just protect it actually.
Don't really want to swing in.
Yeah. We
Because
can
the only
actually
way
crash
for him
these
to
two.
remove it is equality consecrate, and with equality, it's like the same as swinging anyways.
Yeah. Well, this would be a good trade right here too if it happens. But yeah, not looking too good though. He's got a lot of cards. He's got potentially a 5/3 Ashbringer coming. Okay, so he just consecrates, which like it's still pretty good for him.
It's really good.
Yeah,
for him.
exactly. He's gonna be able to remove this.
But yeah, I
entire
mean, it's a good
board.
thing we didn't trade because otherwise our Blade Master would die. Like usually the same is for every decks, but basically you do not want to attack what you can't kill, or otherwise you're giving the minion win free. That's
Yeah.
how I put it. Right. Alright, that's not really exciting either, right? That is not very exciting.
No,
The
that's not
Pyromancer
good
but
at
Mind
all.
Blast could kill the Tyrion, but then the Tyrion is still alive, kind of, and that's
Well,
awkward.
the Drake's sitting on the board too, which would be.
So the best play would just
Yeah.
be slam the rag and just hope
Yeah.
for the best,
I think so.
Hopefully it pings the Drake, but if it doesn't ping the Drake, I guess this one's over.
Yeah, we'll go with it, and then we should heal ourselves right in this case, right? We're just too low.
Yep.
All right, hit that. Yeah, hit the Drake. Okay, at least we got a small chance. Small.
A
chance.
small victory, right?
Small victory, exactly. Well, one thing we know from the Paladin, it doesn't have necessarily a huge burst at the end of it, so probably.
It's
live
interesting
this
to
run.
note that the Paladin is kind of like a warrior matchup in that you really need to like draw more cards than them to win.
Yeah. Ouch.
Oh wow, I think we're dead.
Yep, I think we're pretty much dead here. Might be better off conceding here.
We might have there might be Avenging Wrath. We can just play it out. We might get Thought Steal. We might get lucky.
Thought steal, and then what? I mean, we.
You could Thought Steal and Ooze. You never know. There's stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's still gonna
Yeah.
be rough. Okay, so we can
Pretty rough.
at least live this turn.
Yeah, I would still play it out. So because it doesn't look like he has Avenging Wrath yet. Whoa. This is
We don't have
tricky
quite
because
enough. I know.
this is tricky. I would just.
Oh, you just go face and just try to at least get him down.
Yeah, I guess I would just Holy Fire that like you did and then just heal up. I guess.
Just 2/3?
I guess that's the best. I guess that's the best. Yeah.
All right, just do that. I mean, the other option is to play everything, really.
Yeah,
But-
technically you clear the board, but then you lose the Pyromancer. You do not want to kill your Pyromancer. Never. You do never want to kill your Pyromancer unless it's like super important.
yeah, it's not great value if you have to kill.
That
your own
happens
Pyro.
more in a Druid matchup where a lot of times you might die to your Pyromancer would just die.
Yeah.
It's not good. So right now we're drawing to death, but then we need a Thought Steal. So we just
No
need a lot
way.
of stuff.
There's just no way. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
no,
we got
there's
it
no
back,
way.
so that's okay. So we
We
just
have to play it.
Oh, just play. Like we're getting, well, yeah, we're like
We're dead. I mean, we're dead, right?
No, we pyro death and mind blast, and then we heal ourselves, and we're not dead. But yeah, we're pretty dead. Like
dead.
I don't know, like your definition of dead.
Okay.
But,
Sure. We're not
yeah, I guess they're
officially
pretty
dead, I
dead.
guess.
Yeah, we can like mind blast here ourselves. We're still through the turn, but yeah, this one's pretty over, so we can concede this one. It's fine. Just do the next game here.
All right. I just can see.
So yeah, we lost because of card draw. That's the.
It's always card draw, dude. It's never gameplay. It's always card draw.
Oh no! Like there's a lot of decks where cards are not important, especially against like aggro decks like Zoo,
Oh, true. Yeah.
Mage, an aggro mage, and also an aggro rogue.
Wait,
so
where
those,
the cards don't
those
matter?
matchups, cards does not matter. Just slam everything down. Hopefully, hope you live, because they're probably gonna draw cards for you with the cold light and whatnot. That's really popular right now.
The cold light in which deck?
Cold light in all decks actually, because the idea behind cold light is if you play at turn 7, right,
Yeah.
and you cold light into like an arcane golem and arcane missiles or something like that, the cold light basically dealt for 7 damage. So if you think of it like that, then cold light is a super card.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it, actually. Okay,
But
so
going first against a warlock is terrible.
Yes,
Every time you
it
go
is.
against a warlock, you just wait and see what they mulligan. So you just should be very patient. See how many cards they mulligan, because you can assume that if they mulligan, if they go in second, right, 3 or more, then they're hammer, and if they're not, then it's Zoo. And if it's Zoo, you need to
Yeah.
keep the Arcanine. If it's not Zoo, if it's Handlock, you need to keep the Blade Master. So it's kind of like the thing where you just have to guess.
Okay,
Right,
so
the-
we're sitting here waiting. We're sitting there seeing if you'll drop anything.
I guess I should explain that a bit more, right? Because if you're going second, Pyromancer is not that strong. You need a coin for the
Yeah.
Pyromancer to go off, right?
That's right.
So, you need to get the Arcanine Circle to clear the Zoo. I think he's kept all his cards, so I guess we'll just keep the Arcanine here. It's like just min maxing, I guess. Like if it's Zoo, if it's Handlock, then we don't automatically lose or anything.
Oh
Well,
man,
definitely not now, but
this is
still.
pretty bad. Well, actually, we want it to be handlock at this point.
Yeah. And
Okay,
mulliganing.
there we go.
Oh, there
Yes,
you go.
we got
There you
that.
go. So that's
We
good.
got
That's great. Exactly what I want to see.
Yeah, so turn 4 clear we do have, but a Zoo deck can do a lot of damage.
Okay,
in first
hopefully we
3
don't see
turns.
Ancient Watcher. Anything but Ancient Watcher would be very terrific. There we go. That's good. Okay.
So this is terrific. Oh my gosh. Okay.
This is really, really good. Okay. It's just super good. We will save the Mind Blast because we don't need to do the 5 damage.
Okay.
And it basically says activate Pyromancer.
Right.
That's the card text for Mind Blast. Activate the Pyromancer.
Activate the Pyromancer. Every one of these spells right here. Activate the Pyromancer. All right. We just need to draw the Pyromancer at this point.
The
Oh,
Pyromancer
boy.
would be a
This
very
is
good
pretty
draw,
strong, though.
but then we're not dead in like turn 4, because there are 2 ways of playing the Arcanine. We just hear ourselves and pass here, obviously.
Yep.
There are 2 ways to play the Arcanine, right? One is to like play a turn 4 immediately and just clear the board, and that applies to very dangerous boards like double knife jugglers.
Yeah,
That's
this is
very
ridiculous.
very dangerous.
There's like 8 damage right here.
If it's not dangerous like a Void Walker and an Artist Squire, something like that, you can actually cheat and try and get more value with the Arcanine. And usually you need to do that because you only have 1 Arcanine Circle, right? You're not going
Right.
to draw the second one.
Oh,
There's
that's
just no way.
That's not a good draw.
And that's actually a very good draw. I have to
Really?
say.
This is?
That's actually you need the Power Shields
Yeah,
for
we-
the Pyromancer. So as soon as you do the Pyromancer, you just win the game. So yeah, obviously we will have to clear stuff here. So Arcanine Circle is a must
Okay.
because we're taking like basically double knife juggler
Yeah. I mean, we're
plus 8 damage. That's 1,000,000 damage.
at least an 8. At least that. So,
Yeah, we can't take 1,000,000 damage. So as soon as we draw the Pyromancer, we win the game. If we don't, then we have to like obviously adjust, right?
So,
Um,
all right. So we got like a 1 in 11 chance here.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
2 times. Okay, should bear. At least it's not a lot of damage.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Like we just do
Oh,
not want
yeah,
things
this is-
that have a lot of attack.
That's right. That's what we like right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so give us some kind of draw, please.
A Blade Master and off. Like there's a lot of stuff that we can get.
Nova.
That's not the that's not the
not-
best
that's-
draw in the world. So
Just heal.
well, here's the thing. Like if you do not use Holy Nova, and he use something like Argus comes up, then you cannot kill anything with a Pyromancer.
Oh, true.
So that's always the thing. So yeah, I would Holy Nova here for lack of a better play.
Yeah, I think so
Yep.
too. And I mean, we won't really be able to viably play it too until turn 7. So don't have much time against the zoo deck.
And it's important to note that against a zoo, if you think your opponent's a zoo and you're going second, you pretty much always mulligan your Holy Nova. You do not want Holy Nova in your starting hand.
Wow, that's
Interesting
play.
place. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Why didn't he play in between here? Yeah, that was a mistake.
Right.
Okay, so okay.
Okay, so that's not bad. So yeah, we really have two. We have two plays, right? We can either Sylvanas or we can cleric card.
Yeah.
If we do cleric a card, we have to think of what we're drawing into, right?
Mhm.
So what can we draw into here? That's good. Like a pain would be good.
Pyro's obviously good.
Pyro's obviously pretty good, but then the thing is obvious. The main important factor is if we use the Pyro Shield on the cleric, we can't use it on the Pyro. So
right,
that's the main problem. So I would Sylvanas here.
Right.
I have no time.
And
Sylvanas.
we're sitting at 12 health, so it's really highly unlikely that he can kill us next turn. He needs to have 3 cards to kill us, right? Because Zulocks count by 4s, right?
Yep.
And 12 divided by 4 is 3, so they have to use 3 cards to kill you. And Leroy is basically counting by 4s, because if you use Leroy, you still need to do the other divided by 4s, right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's pretty difficult for him to for us to die.
I wonder.
If we draw a if we draw a circle, that would be good too. A circle would basically be an arcane intellect, right?
Oh yeah, for the cleric, that's true.
Right, exactly. So we have circles to draw. We have pyromancers to draw. Senjin is good. Pain is good.
Yeah, got decent amount of mana too, so we can
Yeah.
definitely make a lot of those work.
And Thoughtsier is pretty good against this matchup because as soon as you draw Soulfire, you win the game. Because Soulfire is just like
Really?
it's disgusting, right? Soulfire is such a tempo swing.
Yeah.
You're paying nothing to clear a minion.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like the one card you really want. Immortal Coils, like usually they play Immortal Coils as well.
Yeah.
You always have that.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, he's doing the
He's
job
just
for you. That's
going
perfect.
Yeah,
That
this
is
guy is
perfect.
not playing zoo right.
So hopefully we see the 1-3 because that is the best.
And we just
thing.
delayed all the damage too that he should have been doing to our face. So
Right. That's fine. Okay. And we drew the pain. That's okay. So yeah, we will cleric here because the
Yeah.
cleric's not gonna
Is someone
Um,
injured?
die. And see what we draw.
go ahead and power shield.
Right, of course.
Okay. Nova.
All right.
Next.
Not the worst card. So with the Nova, you know that you can clear the board, right?
Yeah.
So we're fishing for a minion. So we would power shield again.
Yep. Come on. Okay, Drake.
See, that's just awkward.
I
Why
know.
can't the Drake be like before?
Exactly right.
So obviously we don't want to pay any of these. We don't want to Mind Blast for nothing. So just heal and pass.
Yep. We're still sitting in good shape here.
For the people who are like new to Priest and are wondering like what you do, the one advice I can give you is you play your cards and not your mana. Because for Druids, you play your mana and not your cards, right? Because
Yeah.
if you're playing Druids, you just slam the biggest thing. Usually that's the correct move. But for the Priest, you are playing at disadvantage because your cards are reactionary. And the design goal of reactionary cards is that they are efficient, right? So you have to make them efficient.
Yeah. Wow, this guy.
Well,
this guy doing some serious work for us, man.
Well, this is a pretty obvious play here. Usually it's just Def it and Drake. I mean, we're obviously gonna Drake, so usually draw a card first, but I don't think you're gonna draw any card that is
Yeah.
gonna be Def there.
Yeah.
So
this game-
basically
pretty
this
much
it's
over.
just a win. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a pretty over game. Your Holy Nova deals 3 damage right now, so if he does Amani or something like that, it's still good.
Yeah. Even if he would have made that right play like 2 turns ago, I think we would have gotten momentum back by this time.
Sure.
We must cleanse the sun well.
All right, that's perfect. That's a
it's
work
gonna
play.
be good.
He's gonna buff the wrong guy. Yep.
Yep.
All right, so
Holy Nova.
he's Holy Nova.
We'll start off with that, and then I guess the question is what to swing with or what to put down next. Alchemy.
Oh yeah, we will put the
or-
Alkanite definitely because
Yeah.
we're looking at a win, and the Alkanite is looking like she's gonna deal 5 damage plus the regular 3, so that's 8 plus 12, and
Yeah.
we're pretty close to lethal. We could draw something into lethal.
Yeah, so 5. I mean, we got the Earth.
Oh, wait,
Ring,
no, we got the
the
Mind
hero
Blast,
power,
please. That's
and we got
like-
the Mind, but we got a lot
Yeah.
of damage here. So,
Yeah.
all right. So it looks like we're gonna get another win here. It's gonna be
Yep,
easy.
just
Oh my
basically
god.
choose what you want to win with.
Yeah, we'll choose with. We'll choose
This
this.
should be good.
Choose this into this into this to this.
Sure.
There we go. And we didn't even use our minions, so okay, 2-1. 2-1, definitely good stuff there. Learned some tidbits there too, I think, against the Zoo, that I think it's really, really important. Saving those cards, trying to draw a Pyromancer, but when it came down to it, I think, trying